Hey guys, we are live. Today I just wanted to, I guess I should introduce myself, David Patrick Green, hackhollywood.com, private coaching, etc., professional actor. And I just wanted to share some really incredible news that I think is really going to help you guys a lot. And the news is, I can talk the talk, but can I walk the walk? And I haven't had to start from scratch in a long time, right? Because I did start from scratch as an actor and got things going pretty well. Was just in X-Men Dark Phoenix, and obviously I've done dozens of TV shows and other movies, etc. And I got a little tired of that whole scene, the auditioning and then you book the job and then you hang out, and there's creativity, but I don't know. I needed to make additions to what I was doing. So let me just tell you what I just did. I have a client, because I do private coaching, and I have a client who is not an actor, but he liked what I had to say. And I've always said from the beginning that everything I teach is completely universal. You can apply it to anything in your life, personal life, business life, whatever. So this guy approaches me. He is a faith leader, a very interesting faith leader with a lot of unique sort of anomalies to him compared to other people in his business. And he approached me to work with him to see if maybe he could do a movie based on a book he wrote. And as it turned out, I didn't think he could, but I did think he could do a reality show. And I was kind of winging it. I'm like, okay, I know you can do a reality show because I think you're really interesting, but I don't know how to produce a reality show. I don't know how to get one off the ground. I don't know who to talk to, and I don't know what to say to them if I knew who to talk to. So I've been thinking about it and started calling some producers, and as it turns out, I know two reality show producers. One of them is one of the best friends of my best friend who just passed away, and we met when he came over for the funeral. And I was at a little gathering, and I actually raised the idea with him, but due to his location overseas, there were some issues, and it wasn't going too far, and he already had another show that he worked for, or that he was a producer and director of. So I thought, okay, well, at least this guy is giving me an indication, right? Like, you're just getting little hints, little clues that maybe this is going to work out, or maybe that you're onto something, David. Maybe you're onto something. So I was at this little gathering at a friend's house, and we were talking about, this person was actually talking about doing a reality show for the people in whose house I was at. And I was thinking to myself, these people are not reality show friendly. I mean, it would be the most boring reality show in the world. That was my thought at the time. But that's me. I'm easily bored and I seek more, right? So that's why I don't just go after anything. I just don't want a job. I need something that's challenging and interesting and reaches deeper into people. So anyway, I'm at this party and I meet this woman, and I happened to mention my client, and she said, oh, he sounds really interesting. But that was that, right? She didn't say, oh, you need to call me at my office or anything like that. And this is where, the whole Hack Hollywood, do what you got to do, try and do things regardless of what you think might happen, because what you think might happen, I can guarantee you, is 100% wrong. Because even if it turns out to be what you thought it would be, it wasn't for the reasons why you thought, or it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. The point is, you don't know until you find out. So, and if you're going to think something, why not think it's going to go right? And if you're going to, then you're probably going to be more right. You're going to make things right more often if you actually guess that they will go the way you want them to. So I was thinking to myself, okay, this is an interesting situation. I know another reality show producer, so what should I do about it? I got this client, and I'm telling him I'm going to help him make the show happen. So I'm like, Wow, well, so I had a few thoughts, just like you probably are, like, oh, this person is a friend of my friends, and are they going to be angry at me that I, didn't ask for permission and didn't get a referral and all that stuff? And I just thought, well, this is what I tell people, to be direct, so what the hell, I'm just going to be direct. And so I looked her up. All I knew was her first name, and I think I may have known a show she had done. And so I looked her up. I found her company, of which she is the CEO, and I found her email, her direct email, not the info at so-and-so email. And I sent her an email saying, hey, we met, just quick familiarization, which is a standard but advanced technique that I teach to my private coaching clients and in my Meet Your Career Maker course. And I used some of my own advice, and I just said, hey, to follow up, this is where I'm at. And I did the normalization technique, which is, why should she work with me? And I mentioned that I was already in contact with some other producers, so that gives them the sense that you are, not a complete goofball. And I didn't hear anything. And I thought, wow, you're a loser. But then I thought, no, you're a winner because you did it. And what do I do when somebody doesn't respond to me at all? I follow up, right? I F you until they say F you. So follow up until they say fuck you. That's the way you should do things. There's no reason not to, because they don't care. They really don't care. The only reason they didn't follow up is because they don't care. They don't think they should care. So I need to make them care enough to tell me to beat it. So I was about to send the follow-up letter. And again, I was a little reticent about following up because, again, thinking about damaging relationships and all that stuff, because people are sensitive, and in particular, these people are sensitive. And I know that they could easily take that approach. If this person said, do you know that David wrote me this email? And they'd be like, David, why did you do that? And I've had that conversation before. I've had that conversation when I followed up with people that somebody thought I shouldn't follow up with, and they got angry. But didn't damage the friendship, really. Still friends with these people to this day. So anyway, I was about to send the follow-up, and I get an email. And the email says, oh, thanks so much. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you, but I've been really swamped. Sounds interesting. Let's meet in my offices. So I met her at her offices. I got my client on the phone, or a video call. We talked for about 90 minutes. And then she tells me she wants to produce the show. And she wants me to be a producer on the show. And to start working on the materials. And they're going to pitch it to some networks and distributors, and we're going to see what happens. But with one email, I went from no prospects whatsoever to somebody who believes in my idea and is straight-laced enough to include me in it. And we'll see what happens. But guys, the message is just frickin' do it. Who cares? In fact, it's not even who cares, because they don't care, but it's really from your perspective, like, what should your mindset be? Your mindset should be, I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. Don't worry about what other people think about it. They'll tell you when you get around to telling them, but in the meantime, they don't care about you or your ideas. They don't have any negative opinion. And I know that's where we all go in our minds. We have this negative thing. I've been told to be polite. I've been told not to speak out of turn. I've been told this and told that. But at the same time, people need content. People need ideas. They can't just come up with everything themselves. Like, look at Chuck Lorre. The guy's produced, I don't know how many shows. Do you think he comes up with all the ideas himself? Do you think he writes them all himself? No. He is a guy in an office who shows up at meetings and he takes pitches. He's not going to know until he hears the pitch whether he likes it or not. If he gets a pitch from a complete stranger, he's gonna, have a grain of salt. He's going to take it with a grain of salt. Like, is this person capable of being the showrunner? Probably not, but we'll give him a producer credit if he wrote a really good pilot episode and it sounds like a good concept. So this is what you guys have to do, is whether you're an actor, writer, producer, director, or whatever it is, you've got to basically knock down the doors. And I don't mean it in a violent way. It's actually really fun and pleasant, and you have, control over how you behave, and you can behave pleasantly and happily, and that'll actually encourage people to respond to you that way. If you're nervous, then you'll make them nervous. If you're angry, you'll make them angry. So if you're happy and you believe you have something to offer and you know what it is, then figure out who might benefit from it. That's exactly what I did. And, not that this really needs any proving, but I proved it in the actual flesh. So we'll see what happens. As this progresses, I guess you'll see whether I have a television credit as a producer or not. But look what I have now got, though. I have a relationship with someone who produced dozens of reality shows. I've got credibility, new relationships. I mean, it's exactly the kind of stuff you need that's a launching pad to other things, because the way she thinks of me, quite positively and quite highly so far. And unless I do something really stupid, there's no reason why this isn't a lifetime relationship. And if I have any other ideas, I'm sure she'll be even more receptive to them, because look at how receptive to the first idea she was. And so, it gives me confidence that I'm on the right track, and that when I think something might be a good idea, then maybe it might be a good idea, and maybe I should share that idea with somebody else. And that's what you got to do in life, is if you have something to offer, you've got to offer it. Don't sit there and go, oh, I could do that, and then you don't tell anybody else, okay? Because all that does is protect you from any damage, but it also protects you and insulates you from any benefit. Okay, guys? So that's the message of the day, is, you've got to reach out. You've got to share with people what you have to offer. Otherwise, they can never do anything with it. I'll talk to you soon.